So much good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are and which country you come from. My name is Paul Gregory. This morning, a Thursday that the Lord has given unto us so that we may live and try to please Him. And this morning we shall be doing this again because it is a service. It is actually an activity that we have to be doing every Thursday. And this Thursday we are here again. We want to work with you, together with you and any other person that you are there, so that we may dig deeper into the leadership of any given country. And in this case, we are talking about the very highest office in the country. So if anybody needs to go to such offices, they should, these people that we really admire them to be. This Thursday, we are experiencing a number of things, and just to mention is that in Kenya, there are demonstrations taking place in different countries, and especially where the leader of opposition comes from, there is a lot of demonstrations in some other parts of the country. He's expected also to go to other towns, other counties to do the same. So it is a chance for you to participate in a talk where we need to, check on what is important for us as a nation and what is not. That is, Raila Odinga has organized for these demonstrations, and what we are seeing today is a Thursday. Next week on Monday, there shall be a major, demonstration in Nairobi. So we are expecting to see many things happening. We are also getting to know that the President of the Republic of Kenya also has given him room to do demonstrations, but it seems nothing is going to change. For them maybe to come together. Everybody is strong in whatever they are doing. So this morning we shall be talking about democracy and the effect of it, so that we see is the democracy growth. We have been talking about the growth of democracy in our country. We have been discussing much about the same. So it is high time that we sit back and look at what is very important for our nation. Together with me in the studio is my very able panelist. He has been here and he shall always be here on this, so that until we get to the bottom of the information that we want to. I'll give him a chance to introduce himself. Namkaribisha sana. He's been rained on. I'm sure you are one of the hybrid seeds, so it's definitely to be good. So karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Bwana Paul.
Yeah.
It's a great morning, and we are grateful and we are thankful unto the Lord for this wonderful opportunity. Living to see another day is never an ordinary thing.
Sure.
It takes God Himself looking at your account, and then He finds that you still have some work to do.
All right.
And part of that work that maybe allowed me to wake up this morning is what I came to do here.
Oh, wow.
So my name's Apostle Steve K.
Yep.
I am a minister of the gospel,
Yeah.
and a leader in many ways or in different departments.
All right.
And I thank God for this opportunity that I am here today.
It is my actually a pleasure, and I really pray that maybe some governments will consider you somewhere, because there is that brain, there is that mind that we need this thing to work. We have seen bishops go into offices and they work. So we also think if sometime these governments will consider, that is if you will wish to do this. Supposing you are given a chance.
I'm yet to really consider whether I'm good at that.
Oh yeah.
There's some people who are very good, especially when they stick on their lane.
Yes.
And they can be of help and they affect the lives of people.
Oh yeah.
But the moment you bring them on the front line, then you lose them.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So let's hope maybe one day maybe God will allow me to do.
Maybe it's good to remain in your calling, so that you are not losing the goal.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So Apostle Steve, we have talked about democracy.
Yeah.
And we have gone deeper. We have seen what democracy is, what it is not. Yes. And we have also gone further to check on ways democracy has assisted a number of countries.
Yes.
We have also seen how democracy has affected some people, individual personalities, in terms of presidents who came into power, and they misuse or misunderstood the democracy per se. This morning we have a chance to look at the effect of democracy, positive or negative, but in this case we want to check on how has democracy affected our societies, our countries, and our leadership in Africa, and maybe just any other country.
Maybe to begin with the Banapol, let me say one thing before I get into the details of your question. When the essence of a thing is not understood, the abuse is inevitable.
Okay.
Most of the time, when you see people doing certain things, or maybe trying to handle something, and from whatever, maybe the action or whatever approach they're using, they are doing it from the place of not getting, the proper understanding of why you have. It's like now I have this a cup here, and then I decide to use it like a sufuria. The cup cannot serve the purpose of sufuria, and at the same time the sufuria cannot serve the purpose of a cup. So when the essence of a thing is not understood or well discovered, then the abuse is inevitable. You will find that thing being abused. So democracy, from the way it was meant to be, on the way it was meant to function, democracy, in one word, is something that was meant to promote equality. There are so many things that can be said about democracy, but with one word you can say that democracy is supposed to promote equality. In any society where you find democracy, or in any democratic society, we are supposed to witness and experience equality in everything and in every department. That is what democracy came to do. That is the essence of having democracy. But you see, if now that essence is not discovered or not well understood or divined, then you're going to find a lot of problems. Because you will have people coming and everybody will attach their divination to that, democracy, or everybody will want to use their own approach towards the same thing. Now, since today we are dealing with the effects of democracy, whether in a negative way or in a positive way, and going with that topic, then I understood something that you also wanted us to touch on, what we call the misinterpretation. Where now I began by saying that when the essence of a thing is not understood, meaning that you can have a misinterpretation of something, and when you misinterpret something, then you're going to attach a meaning that was not made for that thing, and it means now that you're going to limit the function of that thing. It will not serve the very purpose that it was meant to serve. So if democracy was created, or maybe it came in picture so that we may have equality in everything that we do, then we have to ask ourselves, is that what we are experiencing as a society that is democratic? Because if we are not experiencing that equality, if what we have is the opposite of that, then is either we are having a misinterpretation of the same democracy, or we are having people who do not have the proper understanding of what democracy is supposed to promote. And then now they use it to promote something else. Let me quote something here. I've come to discover one thing, Bonaparte, that freedom is not freedom until you know what to do with that freedom.
Freedom is not freedom until you know what you want to do with the freedom.
Or rather, should I say this? Freedom does not make you free. Freedom does not make you free until you know what to do with that freedom. Because we are where we are today as a nation, as a country, as a society, because we are free. We are free to talk. We are free to assemble. We are free to associate. We are free to express our opinion. We are free to express our conscience. And it is that freedom that has led to where we are today. So we have become a society that is so free. But now freedom is not making us free. The most difficult
the freedom that we have.
The freedom that we have has become now the bondage.
Yes.
We are where we're today because of that freedom.
Yes.
And that's why I say that freedom is not freedom, or freedom does not make you free until you know what to do with that freedom. In other words, you are not free to do what you want. You are not free. When we say that now we have a constitution that allows us to associate, to assemble, to express our opinion, that does not mean that now we are free to do what we want.
Yes.
Because that is not what freedom comes to do. Any man that wants to be free so that they do whatever they want to do, then they will never be free. Because that attitude alone, it's already an attitude of slavery. Correct. You're going to be a slave of your own desires. Correct. You're going to be a slave of your own attitude. You see. So if we were to begin by saying, when I look at our society, when I look at what is happening, and there is a lot of unrest in our country right now. There is, I don't want to use the word attention, but there is that kind of, everybody is asking, so where are we heading? It's just like 3 months since we had election, and it's as if that, whatever crisis that we have right now, I'm even asking myself some questions. Are we dealing with, a political situation, or we are dealing with an economical situation? Correct. Because there is a confusion somewhere. That's why I'm saying there is an abuse of what we call the freedom. The freedom that we fought for, the freedom that led to what we call the multi-party direction, the decision that was made on those years of 1992. That freedom has become now our that freedom has become our problem, and that freedom has led now to a slavery system that is oppressing the very people that it was meant to set free. Number one, I have established some few people, Brother Paul. If you allow me, I want to just highlight some of those things. One of the effects that I have witnessed in our society, and even at the national levels, from even the leaders that we have, I've come to realize that once the democracy is not understood, or when the democracy is misinterpreted, the first thing that you are going to witness is the misuse of opportunities and the resources. The misuse of opportunities and the resources. Oh yes. That is something that you're going to witness in any society, and especially when you have a society that is so free. When you look at what is happening right now, you can tell that we have a government that is trying to restrain itself. The government is doing everything within its power, within, there was a time we addressed the issue of tolerance. What I can say is that the government is trying to tolerate. And the tolerance is what we are seeing right now. Because otherwise, if it was not the issue of tolerance, by this time, to witness a lot of arrests here and there. But the government is trying to tolerate the opinion of the other side, and whatever maybe a decision that they are trying to make. So a lot of misuse of opportunity, because when you have a leader, you have an opportunity to influence people. Correct. When you're a leader, and I think that's where now the politicians take advantage, because most of the politicians knows that if you can control the public opinion and manipulate people, let me use the word manipulate, and make people feel in a certain way, then you are going to push any agenda. Because the moment you have the public, and then you are controlling the public opinion, and you go outside there and make people feel in a certain way, make people feel like things are not okay, things are not working the way they are supposed to work, and then you manipulate their emotions so that they may feel like this is the time to do or to move in a certain direction. Then you can control the masses, and by that time you can push any agenda. Even if you tell people, let's gather at Uhuru Park maybe by 6:30, they will gather there. They will. Because whoever has the control of the public opinion, that person can push any agenda.
Okay.
They can push any agenda, and they can do anything. So that is what now I call the misuse of opportunity and the resources.
Okay.
Because the first resources, Paul, that we have, and in every nation, any leader will agree with me, any economical person, an economics person will agree with me, the first resources that we have is what we call the human capital. The human capital.
Yes.
So anybody that has that access and the control of that social, capital, which is now the men, the people, the masses, that person is a dangerous person.
Sure.
If that person is not working with the right intention, if that person is not being driven by, the right agenda, that person can cause a very serious damage in the society. And all this is being sponsored by the very thing that we call the democracy. Because that's where it all begins. So a lot of leaders now, they are at that point, that is not only happening in Kenya, it is happening. We just had an election the other day in West Africa, Nigeria, and we saw what happened, and that I think right now they are in Supreme Court waiting for the Supreme Court of the land to determine. And something similar to what happened during our election here, we also witnessed there, the low turnout. Yes, there was a candidate who enjoyed, the support of the young people, but on the day of election, I don't know what happens when when is the hour of going to vote. Yeah, they don't want to come out to vote. So the misuse of resources, which begins with the human capital, which begins with the people, the citizen. You can have a nation where the leaders are taking advantage of the very people that they are supposed to lead, and they misuse that resources. They misuse that resources. So we are having a situation where, due to lack of what democracy is supposed to promote, I know we have leaders who have been around for a long time. We have leaders who are more experienced in terms of things to do with the politics and the democracy. But sometimes when you have a personal interest, it can consume. Yes, it can consume.
That brings me to another argument here. Somebody has been in politics for quite some time. And I think if we were to check on their records, we may come up with something, maybe a trend, if you allow me to use that word, maybe a trend. Now, in this case, they have understood their supporters, or are they supporters really, or diehards? So they have understood their supporters or diehards, and they are kind of manipulating and using themselves as the power itself. And now this brought me to the misuse of democracy. Are we as a country misusing this by money, by power, the power of manipulation to the people?
You see, when you look at, for example, let me use an example of what we have right now, the current affair in our nation.
Yes.
We were told that the demonstration is all about us. We are going to, I had one of our regional leaders says that we are going to invoke the power of the people, which is a very good statement, because the supreme power lies on the people.
Exactly.
So we are going to invoke the power of the people, and we are going to push the agenda that we want to push. Now, I was trying to look at the real issue that the oppositions maybe want to address, and they said that the cost of living, it's very high, and I agree with them. Sure. The cost of living is very high. I agree with them that something needs to be done. But again, I am asking myself, I have not yet seen any petition that was petitioned by any of the opposition leaders, because we have the existing institution that can deal with the same agenda that they want to push. Does it mean that we have no any other means? Does it mean that we have no any other avenues that can solve the problem that we're having. And that one now leads me to a place of one conclusion, that this whole thing is not about me.
Okay.
Because if it was about me, and I'm sorry to say that one, but uzuri sasa, I do not belong to any mrengo. I am a spiritual leader, and I don't have to be politically right to be understood. I am a spiritual leader, and when I speak from the place of representing another government, which is not the church, the body of Christ. And since we are on this world, then we are concerned of the affairs and the happenings around. So if for real we are talking about the economy, and we are talking about the cost of living, and we are dealing with the issues that are touching on the common mwananchi, I'm asking myself, does it mean that there is no any other means that we can use? So that's where now your question is coming in. Like, are we misusing the democracy? Are we misusing the people? And let me say this one. Suppose the leader says, let's gather and let's do 1, 2, 3. And the people refuse to do so.
Okay. Yeah.
The people by themselves, they just say, no, this is not the way that we should go with. Or maybe this is not the right way to walk. This is not the direction that we need. What is going to happen is that that leader is going to go back again to the same people and have a conversation and get to know from the people which is the right way, maybe to approach the same problem that we want to solve. Because right now what is happening is that you have leaders who have, because these are leaders who have been around for almost some 2 to 3 decades. They have mastered the minds of the people and their followers. And they know what the people want to hear. Okay? They know what the people want to hear. They know what the people really want to do. In as much as the politicians are also pushing their own agenda, again, Pierre, there is that, there is that desire and appetite of Kenyans, where they want to always be in the mood. They want to be always on the mood of trying to stop this, and there is no time of even sitting down and focus on, like, we have tried this one didn't work, we have attempted this, because we were here in 2007. We all saw what happened. Okay, correct. If that route, if that direction of demonstration was actually the way of solving problem, then we would have solved it on 2007, 2008. By that time I was in Mombasa and I saw what happened during that time. In 2013 somehow the Supreme Court dealt with the issue in a manner that we didn't witness too much of chaos. But 2017 we came back again, and similar, something similar to that now is what we are going to witness, or maybe we are witnessing right now. As we also blame the politician, I also blame the people, the citizen. Why have they allowed themselves to be, so controlled and influenced, even to an extent that sometimes you can lose your life for something that is not going even to benefit you directly as a person, as an individual? Those are the questions that I ask. Let us be honest with ourselves. Let us be realistic. We are not dealing with an economical issue here. What we are having
it's more than economic.
It's more than economic. We are just dealing. It's just an extension of the political situation that we had last year, August, and somehow there are issues. Maybe these people, our people feel like, our leaders feel like they were not yet addressed. Now they are trying to express their grievances, which to me, the damage and the gravity of what maybe they are intending to do is more worse than what actually maybe they believe or they think was done to them.
Apostle Steve, there is a problem here, because we must solve a problem, and the only way of solving this problem is by demonstrations. Then I think as a country we are doomed to fail, so to speak. Well, I'm saying this because all the institutions, like the independent institutions, I talk about judiciary, and then now the IBC, these are the center of the problem of one Raila Odinga, and he does not recognize the two institutions, and if anything, now he wants things to be addressed in his own way, that maybe the picketing and demonstration is right in the constitution, and it is everybody's right, but it has to be in a peaceful manner. What else is the government supposed to do to come up and solve a problem of that caliber?
I was reading a scripture this morning before I came here. A scripture that is found in the book of Matthew chapter number 5 and then verses 9, and it says like this: Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. You see, in every society, and especially in a democratic society, we have to have that one leader that is always willing to make it right. It gets to a point where, Paul, we don't look at who is wrong and who is right. We look at who is willing to make it right.
Okay.
And that is now the point where we know who is the true leader. Okay. We have been in a situation before where we witnessed a lot of chaos here and there, and then it reaches to a point where the president says, I went to look for my brother, and the brother also responded, and they had a sitting, and then they talked. We are not really trying to encourage that we do the handshake. That is not really what we want to witness. But there is a way of making peace without, destroying the opposition. Because we really need the opposition.
Sure.
We need the opposition to be there. We cannot have a government that is without an opposition and be excited about it. That is not something to be even happy about. So if what the government right now actually needs to do, I know we have a president who is very wise, and at the same time, he's a man that God has helped in many ways. He himself, he confessed that he was prayed during the time of campaign and during the time of election. We need to reach out. We need to reach out. You see, that's the way I started when I began. I said equality, inclusivity is everything. The government needs to really focus on what must be done to make every citizen of this country feel included in the affairs of government, in the affairs of making it. Everything that touches on decision, let the government try as much as they can to make sure that everybody feels included, not just a few individuals. Not just a few individuals.
Just one. What will happen from where you see?
Yes.
What will bring the cost of living down after the handshake, in case there is?
Let us be honest, Brother Paul. The cost of living, the way it is right now, there are so many factors that are contributing to this. And we know that we are in a crisis. Even right now, for the last 1 year, for the last 1 year plus, we have been having an issue because of what is happening in some countries, because of the war that is happening somewhere is it in Russia? Some of those things that are happening in those countries, they are affecting our economy. Okay, for example, things to do with something like fuel. That is not our own thing here. We don't have a fuel here. We don't manufacture fuel here. Yes. So even if we do the handshake, you see, unless you touch on anything that touches on petroleum, even if you reduce the hunger, even if you reduce the sugar today, from the place of manufacturing to the place of the consumer, you have to use the transport. Actually, most of the time, it is the transportation that most of the time determines the price. Sure. Because once the fuel goes high, everything else is going to go high. You see now. So we have an economy that was actually dead. And the process is that we have to revive it.
Correct.
And the process of reviving the economy is not it's something of waking up one day and you see that everything is now okay. Even in the next maybe 100 days from now, we might be in the middle of the same crisis. But the current regime or the current government has guaranteed us that they want to do something with the production, so that once the production is boosted, then the manufacturer and those who deals with the production, they can now have at least the prices of being lowered. Let me give you an example. For example, I come from a region where I don't know when lastly we witnessed enough rain in that place. Okay, because even the previous rain that we had the season, the rain did not do good everywhere. In some parts actually, even the crops in the farm, they were left even with no hope. Okay, now are we going to blame the government because the rain didn't do good? That is not something we can blame the government. But there is something that can be done. The government needs to sit down and we cannot deny the fact that things and the days and the times are very tough.
Sure.
You take your 1,000 right now to supermarket, it's just a breakfast. Not even a supper.
You're not satisfied.
You're not satisfied. You cannot have something that you can say, I'm getting in the house and people are going to have supper and the breakfast with 1,000. And maybe that 1,000, maybe it's a day, it's a wages maybe of a day, a worker, somebody who works. There are some places who work and they don't even make that 1,000. That means that times and the season are very tough. Times and season are very tough. So the handshake cannot lower the prices.
Now, what could be the significance of the talk, and how is it going to lower down the heart of one Raila Odinga, if anything? Because there is a call from the church across the country that these people should have a talk. Now, the basis of the talk now, what are they going to talk about, and how is it going to, lower? Like the temperature of whatever politics or something. How is it going to bring this money to the people? One, is it that it is a trend that Steve, I don't want to use this word, you must come to the government of the day and fit yourself there, no matter the cost of living. You have to be there for your people to accept that things are okay.
We have to look at this the world situation from the lens of being a political issue. That's why I said I'm even confused. I don't know whether we are dealing with an economical situation or we are dealing with a political situation. But let me put it like this: the best gift any government can give to its people, number one, is to create a conducive environment where the citizen can be productive. Okay, you cannot move around. Okay, we are very grateful of the whole initiative of Asla Fund, which to me is not really that effective in terms of what it should do. Because sometimes back I had somebody say to me, nimejaribu kudial nimepatiwa 500 and that is my limit, so what can I do with the 500? Anyway, I don't want to talk about that one. But I have a point I want to drive out here. If there will be any kind of conversation or we are going to have any kind of a talk, this talk, I think we should have the opposition leader come on the table and maybe sit down with the government, or maybe have the government sit with the opposition and look at the issues that we can agree. Because there are issues that the oppositions are raising that are very valid, that cannot be ignored. Okay? For example, when you talk about the cost of living, that's a reality. Everybody knows that in this country right now, the cost of living is very high. Okay? So what if we sit down and we look at the issues that we agree? And since the people that voted for me are the same people that you are governing. Okay?
Correct.
So why can't we just focus on those issues and find a way of bringing the solution concerning those matters? Because any conversation that is going to happen, and that conversation is not happening around the issues that the opposition maybe feels like these issues needs to be addressed. If that conversation is not centralized on issues, then that conversation will never yield any fruits. It will never lead into any solution. Okay. Now, the government on the other side, the only way to stabilize the economy, you must have a conducive environment for production to happen.
Sure.
Because if the people are not, working within a conducive environment, a peaceful environment, then how do you expect to improve the economy? Okay.
Sure.
So actually the whole thing, and the only reason maybe that can push the government to initiate maybe a dialogue is because the government is responsible, if not for anything else, to create a conducive environment for each citizen to be productive.
Sure.
Anybody that wakes up in the morning and they are going to ask or outside there, they need to be on the road, and they are not tiles, maybe the ambassadors in a chomoko barabara. You are opening a kibanda somewhere there, umeweka mboga yako, you need to be there, and there are no stones that are being thrown in that place. That kind of environment, it is not the responsibility of anybody else. It is the responsibility of the government to make sure that they create that kind of environment. And that's why now the dialogue is very important. The dialogue and the conversation must not always lead into, let's do the handshake, we bring you on board, and then you become part of us. Because if that is what actually these people are targeting, then we are being, that's a cheat already.
Sure.
We are being cheated. We are being, misused. We are being manipulated. We are being manipulated. But if this conversation is going to focus on the issues that the opposition, there was a time I sat on this table and I said, you can be advised by the same people that are opposing you.
Correct.
You don't have to always disagree with the people and then you push them away. You can disagree with the people and keep them just around. Because some of the issues that maybe you are trying to solve, those people, they have an idea of what maybe needs to be done.
Sure.
And if those people have an idea of what needs to be done, then what's wrong with somebody comes and says, I have an idea, and they share that idea? What if that idea is applicable and it's good for everybody?
Works, yeah.
Why not? Yes.
I think it's important for a solution to be found, but as things, the way things, the solution to arrive at the solution, honestly at the moment, because both Ruto and Raila are headliners, and we see, rather we would like to see things work out well. I don't know how. Now you have to send your views. Tell us where you're watching us from and what is your view about this. Do you think it is viable for them to go picketing? It's fine, the constitution allows them to do so, but now again, how are we going to work as a country so that the opposition and the government agree, of which the president has told the opposition, no, you have an office, please work in the opposition. Raila has said no. What is your views? We're going to have a short break. After this short break, we should come back and we'll be digging deeper and deeper into this. Don't shy away.
Hello and welcome to Simplified Communications Limited. It is a private company registered and headquartered in Kenya but operating in East and Central Africa. We have qualified technical staff who offer highly professional services to our clients, and we are involved in sales, services, networking, and communications, where we specialize in the infrastructure, networking, and communications environments. And so, with deep expertise across a broad range of technologies, Simplified Communications Limited delivers innovative IT solutions that can assist you to accelerate strategic value and information throughout your organization. And when we talk about our services, these are what we offer. We have the network solutions, where we do local area and wide area network for both wired and wireless systems. We have the ICT support systems, of which our response time is really great. We have the installation of CCTV systems. We have computers and all ICT repairs and maintenance. We have the power backup system, where we use the solar energy, the inverters and the UPS. And finally, we have the PBX and telephone communications. Wondering where we are? We are on the second floor, room number 3 of Pramuk Plaza, where it is located at the junction of Sheikhs Karume Road and Munyu Road. You can email us on info@simplified.co.ke, or you can contact us on 0723 053 138. Our website is www.simplified.co.ke.
Join us in making a difference. We are committed to building strong, prosperous families and a blessing generation. Through our food programs, housing initiative and a community visit, we believe that everyone deserves access to healthy meals and a safe place to call home. With their support, we can continue to provide hope and support for those who need it most. Together, we can create a brighter future for them. Join us today and be part of something truly meaningful. Discover the key to your child's future success with Shamareo School, a leading academic institution offering comprehensive education in a supportive and nurturing environment. Shamareo School is a day and boarding primary school with highly qualified teachers and a cutting-edge curriculum. Our school prepares students for a bright future and equips them with the skills necessary to succeed in the 21st century. Our innovative approach to education fosters creativity, critical thinking, and a lifelong love of learning. From our state-of-the-art facilities to our diverse extracurricular activities like swimming, football, music, taekwondo, art and craft, our school provides a well-rounded education that goes beyond classroom. Join us for a scheduled tour to see what sets us apart. Invest in your child's future with Shamareo School. Our school is located at Syokimau Katani Market. Email us at info@shamareoschool.com or call us at 0741 248012. For more information, visit our website at shamareoschool.com. Shamareo School, a place to excel.
Kupata wimbo huu wa Uinuliwe na Bire the Vocalist, bonyeza star 811 star 936 hash. Kwenye miamba.
Karibu tena, welcome back to Taswira ya Siasa na Uongozi. It is a hot seat in some cases where you must be ready to handle issues, and especially tough issues like this. You're there watching this, please share your views. You can send us maybe text messages in 0745 84 96 22. You can do WhatsApp, you can share with us, tell us where you are watching us from. How is this thing going to work out for the good of the people of this country? How are we going to solve this problem? Because we need to solve a problem once and for all. And maybe I come to a question where somebody is asking, do you think this is somebody's agenda or the agenda of the people? Steve, this comes to you directly. And then another person here, Grace watching, Elizabeth, Melly, nice to see you, Steve. Mel Creatives following the conversation, karibu sana. Na wengine wengi. Please send your views send us your views. Tell us where you are watching us from. And in fact, let us look at a city of Nairobi, where it is the heart of the economy of this country, if I may speak, so to speak, because that's where the businesses are, that is where everything is taking place. And the opposition has taken the city at ransom, so to speak, and they are going to stop. Because I am sure very well, Steve Apostle, that on Monday, many people are going to extend their weekend.
There is that kind of, we have to speak out the truth without fear, and say things as they are. There is that kind of, because some people are already trying to reflect what we have had in some, the past years. So there is that kind of tension where somebody is trying to imagine, what if I wake up in the morning and on my way to work, then I find that kind of situation maybe on the road. So we are having that situation where everybody's just waiting to see how it's going to go, and maybe what will be the approach of the government to approach or maybe to counter that problem. Whether this issue or the whole thing is about a person or about the people, that is the question that every citizen needs to really sit down and try to investigate. It's an answer that everybody needs to answer, not only Apostle Steve here. Because we are used to this one thing. When politicians want to push his interest, maybe he wants to express whatever he feels that is not right, they will always use the people. And some of our leaders are on record saying that they are going to invoke the power of the people, which is now the right of going outside there and demonstrating. But there is a question that we must ask ourselves. It's not the first time we are doing this. Okay, it's not the first time that we are having a call out of let's go outside there and demonstrate. There was a time even we were told to boycott some products. I don't know whether you remember that time.
Yes.
So this is not the first time we are having this kind of approach. Now the question everybody needs to ask and the answer maybe at the same time: has it ever worked in the past? And if it has never worked, when you try the same thing and you get the same results, and those results are not really desirable, it's not what you want, what are you supposed to do? You change the approach.
Which is?
Which is now, the demonstration has not worked, has not helped anybody in this country.
Government can only listen to them.
Yeah, I'm not against. It's a right. It's a right allocated in the constitution, and I think even our opposition leaders are capitalizing on that. But again, we have to be honest enough to face the reality and be able even to anticipate and say after you do this, then you can expect this.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we know the outcome of what maybe will be happening on Monday. If they go on with the plans of demonstrating, and the whole thing is about going to State House, I don't know whether we are going to State House to drop. State House is not a judicial house. No. That is an executive house. There are places where we can assemble and present our petition. And those places, everybody knows where those places are located. They are not located at State House. So this is purely an abuse of democracy, if I can authoritatively state it like that. To me, it's an abuse of democracy, because if you want the right thing to be done, then you have to be the first person to do the right thing. If you can walk in the right way, and then somebody there does something that is against what is right, then you have the moral authority to correct that other person. But if you cannot walk on the path of the justice, you cannot walk on the path of the rule of law, you cannot walk on the path of making peace, then you don't have the moral authority of trying to correct or rebuke anybody that is not doing that. So what I can say for now, I am not sure whether this whole thing is about us. It could be about me and not us. It's a matter of an individual or an interest of somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You know, when you talk about the abuse of democracy, now, I think democracy, I think in our previous shows, when we were talking about rule of law, democracy, and such growth, we also discovered and uncovered the fact that some people in Kenya are democracy themselves individually.
Some people,
if they speak, then that is democracy too.
That is democracy.
Yeah.
And things don't happen as per their definition.
Yes, yes.
Then, according to them, democracy has not prevailed. Let me say this. You know, Brother Paul, even when you are married and you have a wife, you cannot just wake up in the morning and carry that woman and take the woman to her parents and then say to the parents, I am tired of this woman and I've returned your daughter.
Yes.
First of all, they will have to ask you some questions.
Yes.
What could be the reason that maybe has led to you returning our daughter? There is a process that someone has to go through before they arrive into a conclusion that this matter has no remedy. Okay. Now, we have not yet witnessed any petition in any institution. Okay. Because if that maybe is the case, like we want to solve the issues to do with either maybe somebody is misusing the power or misusing their office, and that's why we are having the cost of living, or maybe somebody deliberately has refused to do what they're supposed to do so that to serve the Kenyans. There are institutions that you can approach and they petition those kind of issues. For instance, we all know that the issues of budget are not debated in State House, are debated in the floor of the House. Actually, let me see this one. Right now, even the current president that we have, I'm very sure our president knows that there are things that he cannot even just wake up in the morning and make that decision. They have to be taken in the parliament. We have a government that the style of it is the parliamentary system, where the budget is, we are talking right now, is being debated in parliament. And if maybe there is something that needs to be done that can lower the cost of living, then that thing can only be done in one place, and that is the place where the debate is happening, not in the street. Let's not lie ourselves. let's not lie ourselves. There is no enough demonstration that will lower the cost of living. There is no enough demonstration that is going to lower the cost of living. But if we can use the right channels, you see, if, for example, the opposition leaders have maybe attempted maybe to petition something, they tried to maybe petition, and maybe the petition does not maybe go through, and they take the same issue on the floor of the House, and the issue maybe does not go through, then at that point, if they call the demonstration, we will understand them. We will understand them. Because at that point, maybe they will say, we have tried to petition this issue, and the judiciary did not listen to us. We have tried to use the channel of parliament, and the parliament did not also listen to us. Then from there, if they call for those mass action, we will be in a position to understand now the issue is not about any individual, it's about us. But right now, we haven't seen that. We haven't seen that.
It has not yet come out.
Yeah. And things cannot be only right because they have been done according to your definition. You have to get to a point where, if you're talking about democracy, you have to get to a point where you also respect the opinion of other people. Yes.
Okay. I think we are looking at a situation where, you know, the difference of the votes that separated the two is merely at 200,000 votes, or less than that, or whatever.
Of course,
I think that can also add, is it pressure? That can also add weight into anybody who wants to go to the streets. And it is wrong, if I may use the word, for people to have some assumption. Do you think the assumption that this one is the government in waiting, and if we must do this, then we have to come up and remove the president in State House. It is a very, very hard thing according to my understanding. I think I know State House is a protected area. It is not protected by any individual. It's protected by the highest intelligence or security in the country, of which definitely falls under the president. If anything, if supposing they march to State House, they are there, what do you think could happen, and what should be the outcome of this?
We are praying that that will not happen.
It is a prayer. We are just praying that that should not happen.
We are praying that it will not get to that point.
Yes.
But in case they succeed, maybe to even come near the State House. You know, Bwana Paul, one thing we need to really acknowledge is that we have a government in place. We have a president, and we have a system that has been legally established. Okay?
Yes.
There were issues here and there, the disputes here and there, and we all went into the highest, court in our land, and that court pronounced itself very loud and clear. Okay? And I don't know whether you have noticed that from the day of the decision of our Supreme Court, the Kenyans moved on.
Exactly.
Okay? The Kenyans have moved on. In fact, that difference of those few votes, to me, it doesn't really bring any weight on the issues that we are discussing right now, because the Kenyans have already moved on. Okay? Until when the same people that asked us maybe to vote for them, until they came back to us and then they told us, you know what, enough is not enough. We were told enough is enough. Now these ones come and then they say enough is not enough. So we need to do something. And the something that they are asking us to do is to march towards that house that is called the State House. That alone is an act of trying to overthrow the government. Okay? And that's treason. And you know the consequences of that. Okay? No government on the earth has ever allowed such a thing to happen. So you can imagine the situation where now you have never happened. Let it be just a saying and a dream.
I say this because just I think yesterday, these guys are daring and they marched to State Lodge in Kisumu. The purposes of doing this, you want to imagine now, if they are daring and they can move to State Lodge in Kisumu. Now, what will stop them from coming?
And I heard them say that they are just preparing. That was just a rehearsal for Monday.
Sure.
Now, if that was a rehearsal for Monday, then it means that we are going to witness a more, intensive, kind of a situation that Monday. But I have also to say something here. The citizens have the right to do the right thing, and they have a civic duty to do the right thing. Whether the leaders are going to still maintain that they want to go on and they carry on with those plans, I want to speak to every Kenyan that maybe if this broadcast comes across where you are, I want to let you know that you have a civic duty as a citizen of this country to do the right thing.
Sure.
You can just wake up on that morning na kama ulikuwa umepanga kwenda kuandamana, useme mimi leo nitaenda kutafuta kibarua, nitafutie familia yangu. You can do the right thing.
I'm imagining this person shouting at the loudest. I want to imagine if this person is the same person who locked his shop in the morning and decided he's going for a demonstration. Do you think this person amefunga kazi akaenda a demonstration? Do you think so?
And if for real what we are talking about and what we are trying to solve is the economical issue, I think these people, they should be in a position to know and they understand how far now our economy is going to be oppressed by the same thing that they are trying to do. Because I have never seen any environment where there is no peace, and at the same time you see productivity. It has never happened. So if we are solving the issue of economy, then the demonstration is the last thing we should be talking about. Because actually that one is going to even worsen the economy. You can imagine when you have a city like Nairobi for 3 days where nothing is happening. You can imagine. That stand off of just the 3 days, even 24 hours, and you don't have the circulation of the money in the market. The economy is dying. The economy, you're not solving the problem now. You are worsening the problem.
Mwananchi, it is high time that we think and think deeper, because now if we went to, like for those who are farmers, you don't plant your maize and harvest the following day. That one cannot happen. You don't start working on economy and at the same time it starts picking up. No. We were here the other day, Kibaki took power, and he took some time for the economy to get to where it reached. But it is high time that maybe we bring back the tolerance aspect of this, so that we see how tolerance will work in this. Unless the tolerance, we tolerate one another, unless you sit down and think, then you will come up and shout, throw stones, loot people's properties on the way, thinking that you're fighting for the right of anybody. We saw in Kisumu the other day, guys went, disrupted a meeting, and after that they went, start eating, they ate food.
And then the truth actually, Banapol, is that I have never seen any peaceful demonstration, especially in Africa. I have never seen. Even in those countries that we call the first world class, I have never seen a peaceful demonstration. It can never be. It can never be.
No matter what they want to use.
No matter how we emphasize that is a peaceful demonstration, I have never seen one, and I don't think it's possible.
We are here, and if you think demonstration is the right thing, I think there are people who are obsessed by this, and once they are told we go, they come out. We have talked about businesses. The president has asked the former Prime Minister, Odinga. I found it so strong, because the president said, Mr. Odinga, you have a responsibility.
Which is very true.
He told him you have a responsibility to take care of people's lives, to take care of people's properties. And at the end of the day, your picketing, your mandamanos will be as long as it is peaceful. How is it going to work then? And I think they are taking this aspect of the violence in demonstration to allow it to work.
The intention has been always to make it difficult, to make it very difficult for the government of today to operate. So the intention of demonstration is to intensify the heat of instability, so that now whoever was not hearing, then they will start hearing.
Sure.
Because the same president that is telling the opposition leader that you have a responsibility of ensuring that the citizens are safe, their properties are safe, is the same president they are trying to talk to, and his government. So
is there any problem being solved, really?
You see, sometimes you have to think, you have to see things beyond what is being displayed. Okay? Because if you only see what you are seeing, then you are not seeing.
You're not seeing.
It's very clear that the issue is not that I want you to hear me when it comes to the issues of the people I represent. Is that there is something I want that you are not giving out.
Okay.
You are not willing to give it out.
Okay.
That's the issue.
Okay. Steve, we need to have another short break, a very short break, as we come to wind up this. Send up your views us and tell us where you're watching us from. And remember, this interview and this talk will remain on your social media. Please come, watch, listen, get the views, and please advise where necessary. Remember, shops are going to be closed on Monday. And there guys are going to be, demonstrators. They are the same people who are...
It's an holiday on that other side.
Yes. So we come back after
an holiday that is not gazetted.
Yes. When we come back, also we shall be talking about, Steve, about one Raila Odinga said in the name of Azimio on Monday kutakuwa na holiday. But when we come back after this short break.
Hello and welcome to Simplified Communications Limited. It is a private company registered and headquartered in Kenya but operating in East and Central Africa. We have qualified technical staff who offer highly professional services to our clients, and we are involved in sales, services, networking, and communications, where we specialize in the infrastructure, networking, and communications environments. And so, with deep expertise across a broad range of technologies, Simplified Communications Limited delivers innovative IT solutions that can assist you to accelerate strategic value and information throughout your organization. And when we talk about our services, these are what we offer. We have the network solutions where we do local area and wide area network for both wired and wireless systems. We have the ICT support systems, of which our response time is really great. We have the installation of CCTV systems. We have computers and all ICT repairs and maintenance. We have the power backup system where we use the solar energy, the inverters, and the UPS. And finally, we have the PBX and telephone communications. Wondering where we are? We are on the second floor, room number 3 of Pramuk Plaza, where it is located at the junction of Sheikhs Karume Road and Munyu Road. You can email us on info@simplified.co.ke, or you can contact us on 0723053138. Our website is www.simplified.co.ke.
Discover the key to your child's future success with Shamareo School, a leading academic institution offering comprehensive education in a supportive and nurturing environment. Shamareo School is a day and boarding primary school with highly qualified teachers and a cutting-edge curriculum. Our school prepares students for a bright future and equips them with the skills necessary to succeed in the 21st century. Our innovative approach to education fosters creativity, critical thinking, and a lifelong love of learning. From our state-of-the-art facilities to our diverse extracurricular activities like swimming, football, music, taekwondo, art and craft, our school provides a well-rounded education that goes beyond classroom. Join us for a scheduled tour to see what sets us apart. Invest in your child's future with Shamareo School. Our school is located at Syokimau Katani Market. Email us at info@shamareoschool.com or call us at 0741 248012. For more information, visit our website at shamareoschool.com. Shamareo School, a place to excel. Join us in making a difference. We are committed to building strong, prosperous families and a blessing generation. Through our food programs, housing initiative, and a community visit, we believe that everyone deserves access to healthy meals and a safe place to call home. With the support, we can continue to provide hope and support for those who need it most. Together, we can create a brighter future for them. Join us today and be part of something truly meaningful.
Karibu tena, welcome back to our last lap of this the effect of misinterpretation of democracy. It has been a subject, in our country, and that is why we are looking at it. Do you think we are misinterpreting, or the country has misinterpreted democracy? Do you think our leaders have done so? And if so, what should be done? And because if we misinterpret democracy, then we are arriving at another thing, and that is maybe bad governorship, or so to speak, or you might be entering into introducing something very bad to our country. We have also realized in the talk that some of us are becoming democracy themselves, such that if he speaks, then that person becomes that democracy. That is wrong. We have also discovered that, and it's important for us, all of us, to be very vigilant and be our brother's keeper. On Monday, we are going to expect the mega. They are calling it mega as if it's something very sweet. They are calling it mega or mother, day to the destiny.
Day to the destiny.
That's
how they put it.
Yes. What should we expect on Monday?
I wish to keep on reminding the viewers and those who are following the program that we do not belong to any side of political maybe class. And at the same time, we are not speaking for government.
Okay.
Because if also the government does something that is contrary to what is expected of it, we will also speak. Because that is our duty, that is our responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at a situation where, first of all, there is a confusion that is going to be witnessed. Because some people believe, this thing that is called politics has a way of bringing people to a place where they believe that everything their leader says is true. I don't want to call it an addiction, but politics is one of those one of those things that we call the 7 mountains of influence. And whatever happens in the political arena, it has got some impact that can really influence people in a way that if not careful, a disaster can be witnessed. So I'm looking at a situation where everybody, maybe those who are supporting the demonstration and the call of the Azmio, there are those who strongly believe and they are convinced that Monday is an holiday day. Okay? Which we know is not.
It isn't.
It's not, because we know that there are protocols of using a day like if there must be an holiday. And we know which maybe the right channels or maybe the proper offices that are supposed to announce that. So we know that Monday is not an holiday day. But can you imagine when you wake up that Monday and you have a member of that community or maybe that particular group, let me call it like that, and they belong to this station, and they tell you that today is an holiday, we are not coming to work.
Hey, just good.
You see, personally, I love Honorable Raila Odinga. I voted for him in 2007.
Oh yes.
I can publicly declare that one.
Oh yeah.
I love his ideologies.
Yes.
There are some of the things that he has pushed in the past that, according to me, they were the real issues that really matter, especially in any democratic society. Actually, the wrong thing that the government can do is to ignore the fact that there are issues that are very valid. Among many other issues being the issue of the cost of living. Those are issues that the opposition is raising. So Monday to me is a day like any other day, a working day. Okay, Monday I will wake up. Most of the time Monday is a day of retreat for me. It's where I go back in a place with my laptop or my tablet and I reflect back the week, how the things went down and what needs to be put in place. And I'm expecting that every other Kenyan should do the same. Every other Kenyan should do the same. Wake up in the morning. If you're a business person, go and open your business. If you're maybe a professional person, you work somewhere, wake up and go on your day-to-day activities as usual. You see, let's not create a mountain out of nothing. Let's not create an issue out of non-existent.
Do you think he's using it as a mode, as a mode of demonstration? Kule kususia sasa, telling them no. Now by assuming that by taking the fact that our leader has said in holiday, then we will not work because he has said.
There are those who are going to take advantage of that, and then they will use that one as a mode, as in, the situation is not good. Actually, there's some people who will not report to work, and if their bosses ask them, they'll say, Monday it was an holiday that was announced, or maybe we feared maybe something bad might happen. But again, we have to come back and ask ourselves some valid questions, like if you have a family that you feed, and you wake up on that Monday, and you spend the whole of that day outside there, and you did not go and hustle and get what you usually get. Who among those leaders, have you ever seen any of them, like, now we have gathered, we spend the whole day fighting, whether this fight is for us or we are fighting for you, at the end of the day when we are going back home, because we are not going to do it 24 hours, we will need to go back and hit, actually, so that we get some strength to come back again in case if we are needed. How many times have you seen one of those leaders wake up and say, I have spoken to this maize miller, or maybe this particular manufacturer and supplier, and we have agreed that on this particular day, before we start the demonstration, there's going to be a supply of unga, that everybody's going home with a bundle of unga. Are you getting that point? Have you ever seen that? Because if you want me to do something that you believe is the right thing, then you have to show me how to do it so that I can follow. Because a leader is not a leader because you can speak. A leader is a leader when you can influence people in a positive way. So if you are calling me to engage in the process of something, that at the end of the day, I'll be disadvantaged. Okay?
Sure.
I'll be disadvantaged.
Sure.
And when you leave that place, you're going to use your Prado, your very expensive maybe car, you have your bodyguards, you are going home. And this is when the issue comes in. These people, they will tell you, if it was for me, I have everything. I will just rest because I have everything. So this fight is about you. Sure. But again, we have to ask ourselves, when we demonstrated in 2007, who became the prime minister?
Okay, just one person.
It was not the entire community.
No,
okay?
An individual.
It was an individual.
Yes.
When it happened on 2017,
A handshake.
Handshake happened. Who was called in that handshake?
An individual. I don't want to mention the name.
So is this the issue of individualistic or the issue of all of us? That's the question that everybody needs to raise. And after looking at that question, then you can answer, and you get the right answer, and you know what to do.
Okay.
You know what to do. We want to be honest enough. This situation is not a good situation. This direction is not a good direction.
It is not.
We don't want to witness the bloodshed again.
Sure.
We don't want to witness those kind of instances where an innocent child will die just because somebody went on the street to push an agenda that can be pushed in another place. That is not what we want to witness.
Sure.
As a man of God, as a spiritual leader, I can urge everybody that believes in peace, everybody that believes in dialogue. This is not the time for this.
Yes. But now we have a country, and you are there as an individual. DCC Church was saying we call on all our members to continue praying for our country. Yes, prayers should work. People should continue praying. And here is a problem, Steve. You are going out to either take care of your shop and your properties. You're not participating in this, in the mandamano schemes. But again, when the looters, when these people start doing what they are doing, and they go to an extent of either destroying or even stoning a police officer. And you know, once GSU, KDF, once a stoner stepped on him,
you have triggered something.
I'm telling you, his tone is within him and he loses it, right? So I think, I don't know, up to which extent should we go as a country and how should we go about it? So that if we must do these things, how should we do it? Must we, you know?
You see, we have witnessed several times when a demonstration happens in a place. You know that there is not demonstration that will happen within this area and things remain the same. We cannot lie to ourselves that we are going to have a peaceful demonstration. From where I see it, I don't think that demonstration is something that needs to be considered as a way of solving problem, and especially in a growing economic country like Kenya, where we are still struggling to develop ourselves. We are still struggling actually to recover the situation of the economy. We cannot insist that we want to go on with the demonstration and at the same time expect that we are going to have an economy that is going to sustain us. Is either we want to have it the way it is or even worsen it, or we want to remedy the situation and then choose the right thing to do. Okay? Because if for sure the issue is the economy and the cost of living and many other things of maybe the inclusivity, they are right channels to use. They are right channels to use. If you ask me, a demonstration should happen when finally we have established that we have a president who is a dictator, a man who does not listen to anybody, a man who is not even willing to follow the constitution, a man who does not adhere and abide to the rule of law. At that point, the citizens are legally allowed to take back, because he's taking back. You know, government, it's a delegated power. Delegated from where? From the people. So at that point now the people have the right legally, constitutionally, to take their power back. You don't even have to motivate them or mobilize them. They have the right to just wake up and every state and every county and every region decide what to do. And you know, at that point even the president himself will know that this one cannot be stopped. But as of now, for example, and I'm sorry to say this one, from where I come from, I have not yet witnessed any demonstration, and I'm not expecting it. I'm not sure whether those people are, I know, you know, Honorable Laida Odinga has, you know, supporters across the country everywhere, but I'm not sure whether we are going to have it everywhere. There are some places where people have already moved, they are not ready for those kind of direction again.
That's great. We are kind of coming to the end of the show. I just want to give you another chance, Apostle Steve.
Yes.
Please, your parting shot and a final word, because this one, now as we say in court, your words will be used against you. But in this case, you're not going to use it against you for any bad issue, any bad thing. But a word for this Kenyan who has been given, I don't know whether say the spoiled or whatever, that he must appear in the demonstrations, picketing and all that. As you finalize, because now I think our time is
I can see our time is not supporting our stay. Let me take this opportunity to thank the Kenyan people for their patience. Things has been tough. That one we agree. And the Kenyans has been so patient, waiting and hoping that something will be done so that we can come back to the normal way of life. And for that, I think Kenyans also deserves somebody to stand and say that they are good people. They are very patient. They voted peacefully. The election went the way it went, the decision was made, and Kenyans still maintained peace until today.
Yes.
So Kenyans and the citizens of this country are men and women who love peace and they love their country. Okay. What I want to state right here is, and I want to kind of repeat what I said when we started. The most difficult thing to handle is freedom. And when we talk about democracy, we are talking about that freedom that brings the liberty of expression. And you know, this thing began all the way from the day when God created the first man, that is Adam. Ndio ujua kwamba kuhandle freedom is very difficult. When God created Adam and they placed him in the Garden of Eden, he told him that you can freely eat. So there was the word freely. You can freely eat of all the fruits that you find in this garden, except that one fruit of knowledge of evil and the good. And the question that I always ask myself is that if God knew that there was something wrong with the fruit, and in case if Adam takes the fruit, there's going to be some consequences out of it. How come then God did not protect that tree so that Adam will not be able to access? So God allowed man to still have access to what is not good for him. And this is a very powerful point that I want everybody watching this one to get. There will be always that freedom where you are allowed to choose by yourself and for yourself what is good for you. So God knew that this one is not good for man. Yet there is a gift that God did not want to interfere with. The gift of making decision. That one God has never interfered with it. So he allowed man to choose for himself what is good for him. And the story and the history of Bible, we know that man could not do the right thing. He fell into the trap, and that led into where we are today as mankind. I want to tell Kenyans, I want to tell the viewers that are watching this program that you have the freedom, but don't abuse that freedom. We are a democratic society, but make use of that democracy and don't abuse it. We have a government that is tolerating our opinion as a people, but let's not now take advantage of that and start pushing the government to use maybe his machinery and the power to resist the very same people that is supposed to govern. That is not the direction that we want to go. That is not the stand that we want to make. Kenyans are good people. I have been outside the country, and when you say you're a Kenyan, Kenyans are known as men and women of brain, people that are smart. There are some places when you go and you say you're a Kenyan, they want to give you a seat, you sit down and yes, Kenyans are known as very smart people. So let's not portray that image where now we will start being viewed as people who are idle. Too idle that you can wake up on the first day of the week and all you can do is to go on the street. Let's not go in that direction. My fellow Kenyans, let's not go on that direction. Monday is a day of a working day like any other day. Let's maintain peace. Those who are close, or those who can access our leaders, the opposition leaders, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, and even those who are around him, let's advise our leaders that there is a proper way of approaching this issue. I want to appreciate that we have an opposition that is speaking for the Kenyans. We have an opposition that is speaking, and in fact, that is what we have been missing. We have been missing that fine bright opposition, that opposition that had a stand. We have witnessed the previous regime where decisions were made, things were done, and there was nobody to voice out those things. But finally now we have an opposition that can speak for the people. We are happy for that. But let's not misuse that opportunity.
TASWIRA ya siasa na uongozi. I have been your host Paul. My guest was Steve K. Apostle, and the information that has come out of this, we thank God for it. We shall meet next Thursday, God willing, and we shall be able to discuss much and much more about the same and look into the lives of Kenyans, how we need to improve on them. Until then, bye for now. Be blessed. Tafadhali, take care. On Monday ni siku ya job. Bye bye.
Welcome to Nisi Television, the house of rest. To Nisi Television, the house of rest.